Alright, ladies and gentlemen, it's that time of the day once again. We are going to be playing Anime Eternals and we're going to be continuing our Noob to Pro series. Since not gonna lie, I've been really enjoying this game. Like, in my opinion, it just feels really nice to play. Now, of course, if you guys do end up enjoying this video, maybe you want to see a part 3 or something along those lines, then make sure to hit that like and subscribe button with notifications on. And yeah, apart from that though, let's jump right into this. Alright, so first things first, what exactly have I done since the last time that you've seen me? Well, I have done a little bit of hatching. For example, as you guys can see, I did manage to go ahead and get myself 2 phantom pets. In this case, they're called Shanks and they have a multiplier of 113. And if we compare them to the mythicals of this world, yeah, that's over a 2x increase. Now hold up just a moment, we're not done just yet, since I have been working on getting some of the tokens for the other upgrade machines. For example, Parky Upgrader, I've been leveling this up slowly. Then when it comes to the swords, I believe I did manage to get myself the legendary. Yes, I got the Doom Soul, it does a 1.25x damage boost. And then from there, I also got this accessory from the secret unit from the first world. And then apart from that though, I think that is relatively it. Alright then, since all of that is now done and dusted, I guess that means that we can go ahead and unlock the final world. Since yes, I completed all of the quests, meaning that we can just go ahead, buy this bad boy, and now we can teleport on through. So let's see, in this world we have the Zanpakuto and the Ryatsu color. Now, I believe these are just supposed to be 2 separate gacha machines, kind of like the previous world. So starting off over here, the Ryatsu color, we have it costing 110k, not too bad. And then, yes, this is going to be giving us an energy boost just like the previous gachas. And then in order to roll for them, we need the tokens, which I believe, yes, we can get from just taking out any enemy. What about the Zanpakuto, whatever you call it? How much is this going to cost? 190k, alright, that's not too bad. And then this is going to be the exact same machine as the last one. However, this one is going to be upgrading your damage. Okay, now how do we get these tokens? Probably the same way. At least I'm going to assume that. So let's see, here's one of the bosses of this world. And yes, he does drop the tokens for them. Awesome. Only problem is though, is that he has 1 quintillion HP, which is, you know, quite a lot. So I guess that means we might as well, you know, get started on the grinding. Now, what is a good unit that I can AFK on? These Rakyus are too strong, they have quadrillions, so we need to tone it down a little bit. So not the Aizens, maybe the Himes. I believe this is the first unit of this world. Yeah, this is actually perfect. So we need to save up a bunch of these Ryatsu tokens so then we can upgrade our energy. And then from there, I guess we can move on to the second units, which are going to be these Urias. Okay, that sounds like a decent plan. Let's just AFK here for probably a few hours and then I will catch you guys once we have gone ahead, done a little bit of rolling, a little bit of upgrading, and yeah, I guess we'll see what we need to do from there. And okay, everybody, after quite a long time later, we are now back with some pretty interesting things to showcase. For example, you guys know the Ryatsu colors over here? Well, yeah, I did kind of save up, you know, a bunch of the tokens. In fact, just to showcase them, I literally saved up over 21,000 of them. However, it doesn't really matter because somehow within like, I don't think even like 100 spins, this happened. Yeah, we managed to get our very first Phantom, the Black Ryatsu, which honestly is really awesome, especially since it basically means that now one thing is like completely maxed out, like already. Can you believe that? Plus as well, even though we have 21,000 of the Ryatsu tokens, I'm pretty sure I can convert them now. So like I can use them for like other things, for example, upgrading my, what do you call this, the attack range. Yeah, that would be something I'll upgrade definitely later. But apart from that though, we do have some Zanpakuto tokens, which we can go ahead and quickly auto reroll. You know, let's see if we can get something good. So let's see, that was our final spin. Did we get anything good? Okay, we got the rare, which is going to be a 2 times multiplier compared to 3x, 5x. Okay, it's decent, but obviously there is much better ones. However, for time being, do I really care though? No, so yeah, it's gonna be doing just nicely. But anyways, we can go ahead and quickly claim our very final quest of this world, meaning that we can teleport onto the Curse School, giving us Weapon Evolve, Curse Progression, and as well Curses. So let's go ahead and let's quickly claim this. Boom, there we go. Now all that's left to do is to just buy this and awesome. we are now in the new world. So let's see, can we do anything in this world? Well, starting off, we can take out these Eater-Doughs at relatively decent speed. And then, of course, they're going to be dropping cursed fingers and as well cursed tokens. Now, where is the weapon evolve? Because honestly, that's the best thing I think that there is here. Okay, starting off for 500k, here's the curses, which are going to be upgrading energy. All right. Then from there, here is the weapon evolve, which is going to be costing 15 million. And then we can go ahead and upgrade basically any weapon in exchange for money. For example, if I want to upgrade this Aquarius Edge, it's going to be costing 10 million. However, it seems like I do need 5 of the exact same sword. Plus as well, it seems like when you go ahead and do your first combination, it is actually going to be 2 timesing its stats. So for example, let's say this Doom Soul, if I were to get it, you know, to the first tier, it is going to be 2.5x the damage. And yeah, then I guess from there, the more we continue to combine them, the more we're going to get. So let's leave this for the time being. I'll continue grinding swords, you know, a little bit off camera. And for the time being, let's have a look at this curse progression over here. So it's going to be costing 1 million. And then, okay, I think I get it now. So in exchange for the cursed fingers, you are going to be having a percentage chance for your level to increase. For example, for the first level, it's a 100% chance, obviously. And then from there, it's going to be going down the chance. Maybe let's say the second one's going to be 90%, then 80%, then 70%. You get the idea. So I guess just to go ahead and, you know, make sure that you guys understood what I'm talking about, let's just quickly go ahead and, yeah, let's take out a few of these Eater-Doughs and then let's try and get 1 cursed finger. Alright, there we go. That is 4 cursed fingers acquired, meaning that I have 4 chances at, you know, leveling up my cursed progression. So let's see. First roll, obviously, is going to be maxed out. Second roll, maxed out once again. Third roll, 100% chance, and then the fourth roll is also 100% chance, meaning that right now we're getting a 0.04x damage boost, and I guess as we continue to auto upgrade it, it is going to get stronger. But yeah, that's all this world really has to offer for the time being, so we might as well head on back to the dungeon lobby. I want to see if I can actually do anything here. So let's see, can I go ahead and exchange anything for those special tokens? So let's see, I can go ahead and exchange stuff into these exchange coins. So let's quickly go ahead, add the max, and awesome, now we have 21k exchange coins. And then from there, I think we just go ahead and max everything out into these green upgrade coins. Boom. Now we have 717 green upgrade tokens, meaning that I can upgrade my range. So this is going to be 1 upgrade, another upgrade, another upgrade, and another, and yeah, 6 whole levels, and now my range is looking, I think, like 5 times bigger. Yeah, this is a huge boost. Oh yeah, by the way, since we're already here, we might as well go ahead and quickly upgrade some of the stuff here. So let's quickly get, you know, those extra 5% boosts. I mean, obviously, they're not going to be doing that much difference, but I mean, hey, 5% is 5%. In fact, there we go. Now we're out of money, but as you guys can see, we have some decent stats now. Like, for example, extra luck, extra energy, extra drops, and you get the idea. So let's get back to grinding now. And, what should our next goal be? Alright, here's a good goal for the video. Let's quickly go ahead and grind in the Windmill Island, more specifically get a bunch of the sword tokens. So then from there, what we can do is we can go ahead and auto-roll them, get a bunch of, let's say, the legendaries and the mythicals and whatnot. And then from there, we'll do a whole like section of the video where we do nothing but, you know, combine everything. That sounds like a decent plan, so let's just quickly AFK somewhere like this spot. Yeah, this seems good, and as you guys can see, we're already starting to get a bunch of tokens. So yeah, let me catch you guys in around probably a day or 2, maybe a few hours. I guess it's gonna depend on how many drops we get. And then from there, whilst we're at it, we might as well go ahead and max out other stuff like the Haki tokens, fruit tokens. You get the idea. So yeah, see you guys once again sometime in the near future. And alright, ladies and gentlemen, after a really long time of grinding later, it is finally time to show you guys what I was able to get. For example, when it comes to the weapons over here, as you guys can see, I have already combined a few of the Red Morn swords, you know, the mythical ones. And as well, we also managed to get some phantom ones, aka the secrets. But hold on just a moment, we're not done just yet, since we were also able to do a bunch of other stuff. For example, I believe I was able to get the best fruits in the game. Let's have a look and let's see. So demon fruits, yeah, as you guys can see, I managed to get the mythical best energy one, and as well I also managed to get the phantom, which does 5 times damage. Yeah, 5 times damage. And yeah, the list kind of goes on what I was able to do. For example, I believe I also managed to get, yes, 100k Haki tokens, meaning that I can just go ahead, spam this, and I might be able to max it out. Hold on, I think it's gonna be really close. Boom, it's now maxed, and we still have 27k extra tokens. Nice. Alright then, guess that means that we can now end off the video by... what should we do? I'm not entirely sure actually, because technically I can go ahead and just quickly max out the rest of these swords since, you know, I do have the extra bit of money. Plus as well, in the next world, I believe, yeah, there's also Weapon Evolve 2 and 3. So technically unlocking the next world is going to be very important. Now, in order to do that, we need to complete the quest system. So let's get started on that. Apparently, I've already completed the first one, which, you know, is really nice. So if we just quickly go ahead and claim it, the next thing that we need to do is unlock, or should I say defeat Nebara 25 times. All right, that shouldn't be too difficult. So she's going to be over here. She has 50 quintillion HP and, actually, this might be a little bit harder than I thought. Let's, I guess, go ahead and solve that, right? So, if I'm not mistaken, yeah, we did save up a few of the curse tokens, meaning that I can go ahead and, you know, roll some of them. Maybe, let's try aiming for a legendary. Let's see if we can get that. And alright, we weren't able to get anything too crazy, but I mean, hey, 3x energy, not too shabby. Now, I guess the next step that we can go ahead and do is probably going to be... how many of the cursed fingers do I have? 673. Okay, does that mean I can go ahead and upgrade my curse progression a little bit? Let's see. So it's 1 cursed finger each and still at 100%. So if I just quickly go ahead and spam this a few times, yeah, the price and as well chances are going to be slightly increasing and decreasing. But I mean, I guess for time being, 0.5x damage boost. Okay, wow. And the best part is that we're not even, I think, close to maxing it out yet. Yeah, we're about to reach level 100, which I believe is like 1/5 of the way there, probably. Yeah, we still have a solid 55% chance per roll, and it costs 10 cursed fingers. But I mean, hey, now we're doing double the damage, which is definitely going to be really helpful. Now, all that's left to do is to do probably a little bit of hatching, because I believe the pets of this world are decent. Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, the phantoms from like the beginning of the video were like 113 or something, and now the epics alone are 188. Legendaries even better, and obviously if we're really lucky and get the mythical, then that's gonna be absolutely insane. Plus as well, we can probably go ahead and do a few rank ups as well, since if I'm not mistaken, we've probably overshot it by a bunch. Yeah, we only need 211 trillion. Alright then, let's just go ahead and do a little bit of hatching till we have, I guess, a solid team of units. Boom, just like so, and after doing a bunch and a bunch and a bunch of AFKing later, the final quest is completed, meaning that we can teleport on to the next world, which is going to be the Slayer Village, and we can check out all the good stuff. So we have Weapon Evolve number 2 over here, costing 150 million. Let's go ahead and quickly combine these just like so. And now having a look at the stats over here, is it going to be like a double X boost? No, it's gonna be a 50% boost, I see. Alright then, I guess I'm just not gonna really bother with the Weapon of All 3 because I don't think I even have it close to enough. So I guess for time being, I'm just gonna continue working on the breedings and probably the other thing in this world, which is going to be the Demon Arts. And then from there, the Weapon Evolve will be something that I'll do in the very distant future. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, I think this is where I'm going to be wrapping up today's video. Hope you enjoyed it. Once again, we have done another little mini grinding session inside of an Anime Eternal. And until next time, I'm going to continue perfecting the older things because if I'm not mistaken, the Dragon Race and the Saiyan Evolution, they're still kind of mid right now. So yeah, by the next video, expect all of that maxed out. And as well, I think I'll go ahead and do a little bit of hatching in the Curse School. So then that's where I could get some Phantom units. But anyways, apart from that though, my name's SMG. Thank you guys so much for watching and have an amazing rest of your day. Peace out, everybody.